Good morning to you, and welcome. I'm glad you're here. This morning's gospel is continuing in the same conversation that last week's gospel was, when Jesus warned that you can't serve both God and mammon. Then the Pharisees that were nearby were deriding him for his teachings. And so this was directed directly to the Pharisees this morning. And it's talking about justice in a sense. This isn't the way that we conceptualize the afterlife in the contemporary world, certainly. But the lesson is about listening to those, seeing those who are unseen. I noticed when I was reading this that the rich man was still looking for Lazarus to come and serve him. Certainly didn't learn a lesson there yet. Our first lesson from Jeremiah was also looking at justice. Jeremiah was speaking to a people who were besieged by Babylon, who were afraid, terrified for the future, didn't know what was going to happen. And there in the midst of it, Jeremiah buys a piece of property. It's extremely detailed what we have from that transaction. And I love that the idea of the bank is putting it in earthenware jars to make sure it lasts a long time. But the point was, yes, even in the midst of this, God is with us. Even in the midst of this, we will come back to this place and call it home again. Houses will be bought and sold. Crops will be planted and harvested. Families will be born and live. It's a comfort to hear. The focus of the Pharisees on money was part of why Jesus told them the parable he told them. They had stopped seeing those they served, the people in their midst. Their teachings served themselves and served their comfortable niche under Roman rule. Jesus' teachings were a wake-up call. When we stop seeing those in our midst, justice stops being done. When we stop seeing those who are on the margins, who are suffering, who are poor, who are right there on the street looking for us to see, then we lose something of our humanity. We lose something of ourselves. It's painful to look around the world and see all of the things that we don't want to see. But on this Sunday of advocacy, as we are encouraged to look at our world again through eyes that do see, hear our world and the cries of those around us through ears that do hear, we are called back to being our full selves, called back to being Christ's hands and heart in a world where we are called to make a difference. When Luke was about 9, we were afraid that he was going to eventually give up on school because he wasn't receiving any services. And we couldn't get them to see what we saw as parents. We couldn't get them to see that he was this brilliant kid, but who struggled. That he was this brilliant kid who needed some services to help him to thrive. We fought and struggled, advocating for him every day with his school, with his teachers, with his principals, with the district. Eventually, we did get him his diagnoses. First was dysgraphia, then was autism spectrum disorder, then was ADHD. He's thriving now. In a world where people are given the tools that they need to thrive, they do. The work of advocacy is to make our voices heard, loud enough that those who aren't heard can be noticed. To make the unseen seen. In a world where we're facing government shutdown on Wednesday, and money seems to be ruling supreme, this is a good Sunday to be reminded that this is our world, this is our country, this is our state, this is our local community, and that each person here matters. Each person here deserves to be seen, deserves to be heard, deserves love, is worthy of respect, and sometimes needs a little bit of help to get any of those things. I look at Luke this year doing amazingly. His freshman and sophomore years in high school, he's been on the honor roll every semester. He's planning on going into veterinary sciences at CSU. We had to fight for that for him too, because for some reason the department that helps kids with special needs at his high school thinks that special needs kids aren't going to college. So fighting that uphill battle, he's gotten to take a language this year. He'll get to do the off-campus courses in veterinary sciences next year. And he gets to plan for a future that's going to be amazing. Our world is a place that is hurting. It's a place that needs those who are willing to stand up, to advocate for the natural world around us, for those who are suffering on the margins, for those who are poor, for all of those who are unseen and silenced. Our readings this week call us to an awareness that we are part of a community of God's children, and that part of our work and our calling is the reconciliation of the world to each other, to God. It's not a comfortable thing to think about. It's not a comfortable thing to stand here and talk about. But it's part of what we're called to do and be as we live as Christ's hands and heart in our world. And so may we take heart, because we are strong as a community. We are seen as a community. We are heard as a community. And our work in this world matters. Amen.